picture of my mom and dad at my cousin's wedding. They looked really happy here. I'm reminded of how gracious and kind she was. Always willing to jump in, help anyone, and make things happen.
We had such a good relationship that you don't always expect to come from your mother-in-law, but she was truly one of my best friends.
The last time that I saw my mom was on the Sunday, and we met at a church service. And I remember how happy my mom seemed, that we were all there together as a family.
I received the call about 1 o'clock in the morning. We had a missing woman, a realtor, that was showing a house.
When I heard that she had disappeared and wasn't around, immediately I was concerned.
The last text that came through was not her. She was not someone that stayed out late. We knew that that wasn't her on the other end of the text message.
Over the weekend, crews and volunteers searched for Carter, with authorities asking landowners to search their property.
Having no idea if she was in pain or if she was out and exposed to the weather, it was crippling and it was torture.
Beverly was a true victim. She was preyed on. I did promise Beverly's husband that I would find her, but it's not the way that I wanted to.
I don't remember saying goodbye, what I wouldn't give for just one more time to give my mom a hug. But I never saw her again. My mom and dad met each other at a very young age. My dad was 19 years old. My mom was 16. And they suddenly found themselves with an unplanned pregnancy. And that was me. I was fortunate when I was growing up because my mom was at home with me. And so I had a wonderful childhood. I had lots of time with her. And in some respects, we kind of grew up together. My parents had 3 sons. I'm the oldest of 3 boys. My brothers, Chris and Chad, and we're all spaced about 3.5 years apart. Although she was very sweet and short in stature, she could get all 3 of us boys in line very quickly.
Carl's relationship with his mom they were very close. They probably talked 2, if not more times a day. I mean, he called her for advice. He called her to tell her something funny. He called her just to see how she was doing or how her day was. They were probably the closest I've seen a mother-son be.
Hey, you. I just got home and got this beautiful present in the mail. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. Love it, love it. You're so sweet. I love you very much. Thanks, bye.
Tragically, we lost my middle brother, Chris, in an automobile accident in 2003. My mom really struggled with the grief of the loss of my brother. Understandably, she wanted change. She needed something different. And she had always had the interest in homes and home design. So for her, it was a very natural fit to go into this completely new career path. She just really threw herself into the real estate profession.
If there was an award to be won, Beverly won it. I think the top award is Diamond, and I'm fairly certain she won that numerous times.
Beverly was my best friend. When I moved to the North Little Rock office, we just started being buds, It was just automatic. It wasn't anything we had to work on. As a professional, she was just top notch. In 2012, we went and did our educator's license so that we could teach real estate. In 2014, Little Rock was growing, lots of construction, lots of new houses being built. And so we were very active working with buyers and sellers. So we were really, really busy that year.
Little Rock, even though it's the capital city of our state, it still very much has a small town feel. It's a tight community. You can't go anywhere almost without, someone knowing you.
It's a very safe community. You don't hear much about like domestic crimes or home break-ins or, it's not typically something that happens very often here.
It's a great place to raise a family. And of course, my mom working in real estate, she was a part of so much of that excitement and people pursuing the American dream of moving and buying a home and joining, this vibrant community. Thursday, September 25th. I remember it being an absolutely beautiful day. I went for a run in my neighborhood and running past 2 homes that my mom had listed for sale, just thinking that I needed to just call her and check on her.
It's around 4:30. And Beverly and I was in my office. We were sitting there talking, making plans for Saturday and Sunday. When we both stood up to leave to go to our appointment, we said goodbye, but we didn't give each other a hug. And if I'd known it was the last time. Sorry.
My mom called my dad and told him that she would be showing a property to a couple from out of town, a couple that she had talked to him about prior to even that day.
Nothing was out of the ordinary. I got home probably around 6. Around 8 o'clock, Carl and I got into bed to turn on TV and watch a show or something. Around 8:30, my father-in-law called Carl, which is not normal. They didn't talk on the phone often. So there was a little concern. Carl answered the phone and just hey, Dad, what's going on?
He explained that he had been trying to call and to text my mom, and she wasn't replying. And he just kept going on about this being weird and that he was worried about her. And he really wasn't letting it go.
I didn't think anything else of it because I really did think, I guarantee you she is at a house, sitting at a kitchen table, signing a contract. Her phone is probably in her car. But when he called back, that's when I think it shifted a little bit.
I told my dad that I would go to her office, and I encouraged my dad to go to the house that she would be showing that afternoon, and that we would find her at one of those places. Upon arriving to my mom's real estate office, it was immediately evident that no one was there. The building was just completely dark, not a single light on, and the parking lot, it was just empty.
I remember at that moment, something felt wrong. I could just feel it.
And as we're sitting there, my dad calls me and he said that he had arrived at that house on Old River Drive and that my mom's car was parked in front of it and the front door was open but that my mom was gone. I told my dad that we needed to contact law enforcement, and so we made the call to report my mom missing and started making my way out to that home to be with my dad.
Once the police arrived, everyone was looking around the property. A few of the sheriff's deputies started going door to door to see if anybody had any information.
The later it got, the more concerned I became, because even with all of the ideas that we had come up with for reasons why we might not be hearing from her, they just didn't fly anymore. And we really had to begin facing the fact that something truly may have happened to her.
I enjoy helping people. Being a homicide detective, you get closure for people. I was actually off on call when I found out about Beverly. Initially, I was just told that she went to show a house, and the husband found her vehicle and was not able to find her. When I went inside the house, you could tell that the house had been vacant. There was a lot of dust, and you could tell there were disturbances in that dust where somebody had walked. Outside of the house, I saw tire tracks that looked like they'd backed all the way to the front door. I noticed that her car was locked, but her purse was inside. When I realized the purse was in Beverly's car, it's about the same time that a cell phone text came through from Beverly's phone.
I just remember being out there huddled and watching our phones. And then suddenly, just after midnight, my dad begins just yelling out to all of us, "Beverly has texted me back." And we all just start running toward his truck.
And in that moment, it was so like, okay, there she is. You know, she's fine. And it is crazy how you can go from it is fine to it is not fine. Right after that, the next message came in. It said, "Sorry, phone dead." And we were like, okay, that's okay. That makes sense. I mean, that's fine.
Not long after the second text, we received a third text from my mom. It was letting my dad know that she was out drinking with friends. And knowing my mom, knowing that her favorite beverage was chocolate milk, not alcohol, we went from relief to just complete horror, because we knew just with those few words that my mom had been taken and that she was in a very dangerous situation.
At that point, I felt that Beverly had been kidnapped.
And I got the phone call at about 2 o'clock that morning from the police department. It scared me to death because I knew that Beverly would be at home. There was no question that something had happened to her.
We decided to ping the cell phone, since the cell phone was turned on, and send in messages, try to figure out a GPS location of that phone. When the cell phone pings come in, it gives us a GPS coordinate. So I pull that up and I go to those locations and I look for any kind of evidence that may lead me to Beverly. Old River Drive in Scott is a very remote area. It's a lot of farmland out here. There's not a high crime volume. The fact that Beverly's phone was moving around and we had 3 different pings showed me that that phone was actually moving. So we had a direction of travel that her phone was moving in. We got the pings where the house is at on Old River. We got a ping at Faulkner and Interstate 440. We got a phone ping at Dixon Road, and that phone ping was about 20-minute ping. So that phone stayed there in one spot for about 20 minutes. I kept thinking, I'm going to get there and she's going to be sitting there waiting for somebody to pick her up. But I didn't find anything that I felt was involved in the crime. After this, we received 0 further pings. When that happens, we know that more than likely the SIM card's been removed. It puts a freeze on it because we can't track the phone anymore. I knew that someone had turned her phone off. While I was looking into the pings, one of the neighbors across the street reported seeing a small black car backed up to the driveway with a white male standing beside the car. She didn't think anything of it. Well, that's the last person that we could put Beverly with, so that was significant. That was the first lead that we had had. That first night that I was involved, I did realize that Beverly was in serious danger. I think that she was somewhere against her will.
That night, when the detectives returned back to the scene and advised that they weren't able to track or find the phone, they asked that we go home and rest and start the search again at daylight. I remember just feeling so much guilt for leaving that spot, thinking that wherever she may be, that if she were to come back to the spot where she had been taken, that we wouldn't be there.
It was a very quiet ride home. We laid in bed and I just started crying, and then he started crying. I think the last time I looked at the clock, it may have been like 3:30 in the morning, and obviously we fell asleep just from exhaustion, but also maybe hopeful we'd wake up and this was all not real.
The next night, as we went past the 24-hour time frame, we knew the importance about finding her within that span of time.
The longer somebody is missing, the more likely it is that they will not be found alive. So the police were extremely concerned. The chances they would find her in a safe state were decreasing by the minute.
I can remember every minute of those 5 days. The police department said that they would set up a search party. It was very well organized. The community was involved, churches were involved. It was really a lot of people. Safety was always at the foremost for Beverly. I knew from the beginning that something bad had happened. I did not want to think that it was the end of Beverly. She would not have left her husband or family without telling them what she was doing.
Speaking with her family, I did feel like Beverly was a safety-conscious person. She seemed to be very smart. She had shown thousands of houses and have never had an issue before.
There had to be some other explanation for why her car was there, but she wasn't there. We were all trying to come up with scenarios. I mean, honestly, we were even like, maybe she left. Maybe she has a boyfriend. Maybe they've run off together. Maybe they're on a plane somewhere. You know, like we were going far trying to find something that would make more sense than something bad had happened.
Every time she went to a showing, Beverly would convey to her husband who she was going to show the house to. She kept a list of it. She made sure she left her purse in her car. She tried to take affirmative steps to protect herself, and she thought that that was more than enough to keep her safe.
The investigators found a notebook in my mom's car. And in this book, my mom would put in details, around names and phone numbers, or types of properties that people were interested in seeing, just anything and everything that she wanted to, remember about who she was working with at that time.
The police looked in Beverly's notebook and saw that the most recent entry was for a couple that essentially didn't exist. They were fake names and numbers. Why would prospective buyers give a fake name and number if they were intending to actually buy this house?
We looked into the details of the notebook that Beverly had in her vehicle. We had the address of the Old River Road, and underneath that was an email address and then a telephone number. The phone number we found out was a fake and figured out that it was a text app that was downloaded. You have to have a real number in that application, so we were able to send a search warrant and find out who it actually was registered to. The real phone number that the fake number was created from was owned by Crystal Lowry. Crystal Lowry's husband was Aaron Lewis.
When police had found out the last people that Beverly was with were Crystal and Aaron Lewis, they became very concerned. While Crystal did not have any criminal record, Aaron Lewis had an extensive criminal history, including for violent offenses.
When we got Aaron's physical description, it matched the description that the neighbor saw of the white male standing beside the small black car at the house on River Road. Crystal Lowry and Aaron Lewis lived in Sherwood, which is about 10 to 15 miles from the scene where Beverly was kidnapped. So we sent vehicles and marked units to that area to get an eye on the house. When we were going over to put surveillance on the house, they actually saw Aaron Lewis walk out of the door. He saw them and he fled.
They took off on a car chase and he was driving so erratically, he actually got into an accident, crashing his vehicle and sustained injuries himself.
Aaron suffered a cut on his head and a broken nose, and he was taken to the hospital by ambulance. When we ran the search warrant on Aaron Lewis's vehicle, we were able to find duct tape, we found a cell phone, and we found hair fibers. We had an officer that went to the hospital when Aaron Lewis went for a CT scan. He flees the hospital. There's no reason for Aaron to run from the hospital unless he's committed a crime. He's trying to get away. I wrote a search warrant for Crystal Lowry in Aaron Lewis's house. When we executed the search, we were able to locate Beverly's cell phone with the missing SIM card. At that point, I knew that Aaron Lewis was involved with the kidnapping of Beverly Carter. We immediately put out a BOLO for Aaron Lewis.
A BOLO is a be on the lookout for. It's a notification of other law enforcement agencies and the community that they are looking for somebody because they feel either the public is in imminent danger or this person could escape very serious criminal charges.
We included a photograph of him from the car crash. We stated that we were looking for him as a person of interest in the kidnapping of Beverly Carter and asked that anyone have any information contact us.
Hey, they're looking for a guy here that was involved in the realtor being kidnapped. And this guy looks like him. And he is nervous, and he's out here at a bus stop.
Okay, but don't tip him off or anything. We'll get someone out there.
When officers arrived, Aaron fled on foot into an apartment complex and then jumped off the second-story floor right into the bottom of the feet of an officer standing there, so they took him into custody.
My mom had been missing for 4 days, and I was with my dad at his house, and we got the call from the investigators to let us know that Aaron Lewis had been taken into custody.
The family had never heard of Aaron Lewis before. They were in hopes that Beverly would be found alive and that we were on the right track to find her.
There was a part of me that was relieved because I felt like he would do the right thing and tell us where my mom was.
Where is she? Who? I'm asking you a question. Did you do anything?
No, did you?
Why did they have you arrested?
I have no idea. They still haven't told me.
From a detective point of view, when you make the arrest, that's when the work is really just starting. We've got to be able to find Beverly, and the only person that knows that answer is going to be Aaron Lewis. When I interviewed Aaron Lewis, Aaron was the narcissist. He thinks that he's the smartest person in the room. This was more of a game to him than anything else.
Where's my phone? Because you can't unlock it.
Are we playing?
Yeah.
Where's no show me on the phone?
Well, actually, I'll let you listen to something. Then you'll know that I'm serious. Then I said, it's you're running out of time.
Normally, we wouldn't give a suspect their evidence like that, but we needed to try to find Beverly. So we allowed him to have his phone. He played a audio note, and it was Beverly Carter's voice.
Carl, Beverly, I just want to let you know I'm okay. I haven't been hurt. Just do what he says, and please don't call the police. If you call the police, it could be bad. Just let you know I love you very much.
Aaron told me that he had this message on his phone. In the event that he got caught, he can prove that Beverly was alive. We knew that we had to hurry. My concern was that she was not actually alive. He was still playing games with us.
Are you guaranteeing me this one's alive? Depends on how long it takes. How long do we have? How long can a person survive without food and water? Yes, you got. You figure it out.
Aaron Lewis essentially said that if police don't find her in time, it's their fault if she dies. He was trying to set the foundation for him being found not guilty for her death.
The investigators did tell us that he was not being cooperative. And so any hope, relief that we had that he might tell us where she was really fleeting.
So we started looking at his phone records, figuring out where he had been, and we were able to figure out that he had been to a place called Argos, which was a concrete facility. We found out through his background that he had been recently fired from Argos. So I asked him why he would be there if he had been fired, and just threw it out, you take Beverly to Argos. And that was the only time that I ever had any kind of reaction from him. I knew right then that's probably where she was going to be at. We immediately sent a search team to the Argos plant. It was late in the evening. One of the detectives searching the wood line saw some fresh dirt and walked over, and as that detective was walking through that dirt, she actually tripped on something. And she looked back to see, and it was Beverly's elbow that was protruding out of the ground. When we uncovered Beverly from the grave, we found out that she was duct taped from the eyes to the chin that covered her mouth and her nose. Obviously, she suffocated. The location where they buried her is actually a cement runoff. Had we not found her when we did, she would have been completely covered with concrete in another matter of days. When Beverly's body was found, obviously we were hoping to find her alive. So when we found her deceased, it was probably the worst, best feeling I've ever had.
When police found Beverly's body, they immediately questioned Aaron and Crystal. They charged them with multiple crimes, including capital murder.
Once Beverly's body is located, we have to tell the family that she's been found. It's a very hard job to do. I've had to do it a lot, and it's never easy to have to tell a family member that their loved ones is deceased. Division captain went and told the husband, Carl, that we had located Beverly and she was deceased. And then Beverly's friends actually got together and went and told her sons that she had been found.
I was awakened at 4 a.m. with people at my doorstep. And standing there at the door were some of my mom's real estate colleagues, all with very solemn expression. And I let them in my home, and they immediately said that my mom had been found. And I was so excited. And my response was, well, where is she? And one of her friends said to me, oh, sweetie, your mom wasn't found alive.
We weren't there yet. We weren't to a place where we were talking about her not being alive.
And it didn't seem real. It didn't seem possible. It just seemed like a bad movie. Probably the most confused person in the whole situation was, and still is, my dad. My dad lost his wife of 34 years. His whole world just was taken from him in a moment.
The autopsy report showed that Erin wrapped her entire head in duct tape and basically created a mask, which she couldn't breathe. She laid there and suffocated. She was unable to rip it off because her hands were duct taped behind her back. She just laid there on the ground out there and died. I think Beverly went through hell in her final hours when she died. They made her walk to the gravesite. I can't imagine going through what she went through.
She literally laid in her grave, taking her last breath.
Ultimately, Crystal Lowry did confess to being involved and agreed to tell us everything in agreement to a lighter sentence, because in the state of Arkansas, kidnapping and capital murder brings either the death penalty or life in prison without parole. So instead of taking that, she decided to take a 30-year plea deal in exchange for testimony in court explaining how and why this happened. Crystal Lowry was a nursing student, and the night that Beverly went missing, Erin had spoken about doing a kidnapping for ransom. She suggested kidnapping a realtor broker because brokers usually had a lot of money. So they conducted an online search for a realtor broker in the area, and Beverly was the first name that popped up.
Crystal had recently married Erin, and it seemed at first like Erin was acting alone until police came to know Crystal a little bit better. She maybe wasn't the ringleader, but she was feeding him ideas on how to commit his intended crime even better.
Erin Lewis made contact with my mom requesting to see the property that day. And my mom apologized and told him that she didn't show property alone. And so Crystal Lowry spoke to my mom and told my mom that she would be there, giving my mom this false sense of comfort that there would be another person there and make it a safer environment to show the house. My mom arrived to that appointment prior to anyone getting there. When she opened the home, Erin Lewis showed up with an apology and an excuse that Crystal had gotten caught up at work and she was going to be unable to make it to that showing that day.
Erin duct taped her, put her in the trunk of his car, and then he was going to take her someplace, take a photograph of her, and send that photograph to Beverly's husband for ransom. He ended up taking Beverly home and realized that he forgot to get the debit card out of her purse in the car. So he left Beverly at their house for Crystal to stand guard over, and he went back to the scene to try to collect her debit card.
The purse was an important part of their plan because they would have my dad move money to accounts that were accessible with the cards in my mom's purse. And so no purse, no ransom.
When he got there, police were on scene. He panicked, so he left and went back to Crystal, told her what was going on, so they had to come up with a new plan. It was Crystal's idea to kill Beverly. She told Aaron, "You've got no choice. You're going to have to kill her, so go do what you've got to do."
She knew too much already. So he went and bought a shovel and put her back in his car, drove her to the site of his former employer. There was video surveillance at Walmart where he bought the shovel, and Crystal was in the car with him. There was enough evidence to show that she aided him in it.
When asked why Beverly, here's what he told reporters.
She was a rich broker. Do you have anything to say to the family?
Sorry.
Beverly was such a good friend. She was my best friend, and this is a reminder of how much I miss the things that we could be doing together and how much fun we had doing those things together, but we can't do them anymore because she's not here. This is actually the dress that they buried her in because they knew that she loved that dress and they wanted her to have that to be buried in. That's what they did.
It wasn't long after we laid Beverly to rest that we learned that Aaron was a 6-time felon and he married Crystal and then he ran out of money.
Supposedly the two were trying to get a divorce and couldn't afford it. So that was the reason they were going to try to kidnap somebody and get some ransom money so they could afford to get a divorce.
He saw my mom as an easy way to get money. My mom was not fantastically wealthy. He just ruined our beautiful family because he only cared about getting rich.
Aaron Lewis went on trial January of 2016 at Pulaski County Circuit Court.
Aaron Lewis was at times within an arm's length from us. There was a part of me that wanted to just shake him and ask why. And then there were other moments of just sheer rage as they were showing the jury pictures of my mom being unearthed from that shallow grave.
The most standout moment in the trial for me is when the prosecutor, during closing arguments, took a roll of duct tape and she grabbed it and just opened it real fast. And you know, duct tape makes a distinct sound when you open it. And she said, that's the last sound that Beverly Carter ever heard. And I'll never forget that.
While we were waiting for the verdict, Carl and I actually went into a side room and I heard heels like running down a hallway. And one of our prosecuting attorneys came in and said, the verdict's in.
The verdict the jury came up with is that Aaron Lewis was guilty of capital murder and kidnapping. When that guilty verdict came in, it was like 1,000 pounds was lifted off my chest.
Tears just began to flow and just, I don't know that there was happiness from the sense of the fact that we had gotten justice for my mom, but also there was just relief that this part of this journey was over.
capital murder, Aaron Lewis was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And kidnapping, he was also sentenced to a life sentence. So basically, he got 2 life sentences.
There's a part of me that thinks that if you take a life, you shouldn't be given the luxury of keeping your own. But they were given fair trials. And justice, at least when defined like that, was served.
He's never going to be able to get out. He'll never see the light of day again. And now Aaron gets to sit in prison the rest of his life and remember what he did. I do think about this case. I think about Beverly a lot and the stuff that she actually went through. And I always think back to the voicemail that she left.
Carl, it's Beverly. I just want to let you know I'm okay. I haven't been hurt. Just to let you know I love you very much.
The calmness in her voice, it just, I don't know how somebody could be so calm going through that kind of thing.
The details are always kind of hard to hear because she was such a scaredy cat. She was always afraid of the littlest things. That's what hurts the most. I do pretty good until I think about her final moments on Earth, and those break me. They're really hard.
Carl Jr., her son, created the Beverly Carter Foundation to help realtors try to educate them on better ways to stay safe in doing their job and come up with ways to make their job safer.
Carl felt this pressure to take just the worst thing in his life and make it better for somebody else. And it was his therapy. He needed to speak about it. The foundation for him was a way to process his grief.
We do work alongside Carl Jr. with his foundation and make sure safety is first and foremost with every agent. I'm really proud of Carl doing that, and I think that his mother would be very proud of him because I think that this foundation carries on Beverly's legacy of trying to help people.
Looking back, having Beverly as my mother-in-law was truly one of the greatest gifts. I will always choose to remember her in the fact that she had a weakness for sweets and she hated exercise and just wanted to live out her days at the beach, which is basically me in a nutshell now. But I think that remembering her will always be that she was truly one of the greatest friends that I'll ever have. I hit the jackpot with her.
My mom was the matriarch of our family. She was the center. She made everyone feel welcome. She was the first hello you heard when you came through the door, and she was always out greeting you, goodbye. She took care of all of us. Navigating life without her has been a challenge for our family. We're all trying to step up and trying to make her proud.